What's up, guys? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess and welcome to my channel. I've got lots of new subscribers and I want to give you a warm welcome. And if you're also watching, you're not a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below so you don't miss a video. So today's video is whenever I tell somebody or share my weight loss story to somebody in general, I always get asked, what's your secret? Like, you know, and then when you think about it, you're like, oh, I did the keto diet or I intermittent fasting. But I kind of like, that's not really the answer. That's not really my secret. I feel like that's just the diet or the lifestyle. I feel like the secret of how I've lost 97 pounds was really self-discipline. And yeah, that seems like so easier said than done, the whole thing. But I honestly, after giving it some thought, it was really self-discipline. That's what got me here today. Granted, I still have 42 pounds left in my journey to lose before I get to my goal weight. But I want to say my key to success has been my self-discipline. And I thought I would make a video on self-discipline. I feel that strongly about it. So I've been taking a couple of days to just kind of take a break from making videos and to think about this, because I want to make it kind of make sense so that you can apply this to your own life. So with that being said, let's get started. We'll jump right into it. So so the best way to describe, in my opinion, self-discipline, that's like, to me, self-discipline is just something that you do. So for instance, you brush your teeth twice a day. Why? Because your teeth will rot and fall out if you don't, you know, so it's just something you do. You don't think or consciously even make stress about that. You just brush your teeth and you do it morning and night. You know, some people do like 6 times a day, but I mean, in general, everybody brushes their teeth, because if you don't, you get cavities. And if you don't treat the cavities, you know, it just goes downhill. So we brush our teeth. It's part of our day. That's it. It's self-discipline. If you don't do it, your teeth rot, you know. So, and then another thing, self-discipline. Obviously, we all have jobs. We all have to make money to live. So we sit an hour in traffic most of the time. I mean, if you're lucky enough to live down the street, lucky. But most of us, we have a commute to work. We sit in a car, sit in traffic. Then when we get out of the car, we go into the office. You're sitting below fluorescent lights and looking into a screen that sucks your soul out of your body. And then you do that for 8 hours, maybe more. I'm just saying, generally speaking, 8-hour workday. Then we sit back in the car, we drive home, and we just to repeat it all the next day. But it's what we do. We don't like to, I mean, who wants to actually go to work? I'd much rather get free money, but that's not how it works. We have to go to work, we have to earn money to live and pay for our bills and be responsible, that kind of thing. But it's the self-discipline that gets us up every morning, that gets us into the car, which gets us into the job, and you know, the cycle. It's the self-discipline. It's something that you do every day, and if you don't, you know there's a consequence. You get fired. Maybe you don't get a raise, you know, like that. You know there's a consequence if you don't show up to work every day. So, tying that together, why is our health not treated with self-discipline too? How can you get up every morning, get in a car, go to work, come home, you know, brush your teeth? How can you do all that without good health? If you're dead, you can't go to work. You can't brush your teeth. So why is health treated differently? How is health not a priority? Something that you do that's not something that you even think about. Like why is there a disconnect with that in general? Like that's what I want to know. So that's why I'm going to tie this all in. I wrote some notes to say on topic, but we're not designed as humans. We're not designed to sit in front of a computer screen all day, to sit in traffic for an hour, 2 hours, whatever your commute is. We're not designed to, not be anything. Like, we're designed to be out with nature, moving, designing tools, being innovative, being efficient, breathing in the outdoors. We're designed to move and enjoy life and make our life the best while we're here, because you get one life. We're not designed to just, walk around all day like cattle, So many people are living in these vicious, unfulfilling cycles. And yes, there's self-discipline there, but we're not getting out of the cycle because we're not viewing self-discipline in one of the most important areas of our life that will get us out of that vicious cycle. And that's caring about our health and making that part of your self-discipline. So, how is fueling your body any different than, going to work every day? So basically what I'm trying to say is life's not easy. Some days I wake up and I don't want to eat keto. I would much rather go eat one of those commercials I just saw on TV for, Whataburger. I don't know. But I'm saying, like, some days I don't want to eat keto. Some days I get sick of eggs. But I also know that if I don't eat a ketogenic lifestyle, I will be back to 309 pounds before I'd even blink, because that way was no way to live. I'm living life again because I'm choosing to fight for my health and being self-disciplined every day. So even in the days I don't want to eat keto, I am making keto foods, or I'm stopping at a restaurant and making keto choices. I'm taking the time on the weekend to make my menu and shop for those items for the week. So if I waited to a time that I felt good to change my life, like, how many times do you wait to January 1st? You make this huge New Year's resolution. This year's going to be about you. You're going to lose all this weight. That was my New Year's resolution for the past 14, 15 years. That was me. I was going to lose the weight. And you know how many times I ever lost the weight? No, it wasn't until this year, or 2019, in February 11th, some random day after I did my research, that I took charge of my health and changed my life. It was not on a Monday. It was not on, I think it was actually on a Monday, but I'm saying it was just some random day. It wasn't like it's the first of the month or the first of the year. Like, there was not a perfect time. I just needed to make a change that day and move on that momentum every day and fight through it and be self-disciplined. So when it was hard, like if you've watched the beginning videos of my journey, weeks 1 and 2 was brutal for me. I felt so awful. I wanted to give up so bad, but something in me, I just fought for it and just stuck with it. And it got me to week 3. And after week 3, my life had changed forever. I saw the magic of keto. I saw why you should fight for your health. And that happened in week 3 of my journey. And it's only built momentum from that point forward, and I'm in month 10 now, or week 47. If you're feeling awful like I was when I was 309 pounds, but you're not willing to make your health part of your self-discipline, you have to accept the consequences of not doing something about it, not making it a choice to change your life. You have to accept the consequences that you're probably going to end up with diabetes. You're probably going to have high cholesterol. You're probably at risk for heart disease and who knows, all of the other stuff. I mean, you are at risk if you don't make health if you treat health differently than you would treat a job, brushing your teeth, just that. If you don't do that, there's consequences. Every meal you have a choice. You can either eat something healthy or not eat something healthy. Every meal you have that choice. You have that opportunity for greatness. So you have to choose health, even if you don't want to do it. That's what self-discipline is. And another thing is, a fear that's common with people is this feeling of discomfort. We don't like to feel discomfort. That means some people exercise, but then the people that don't exercise have this fear that it's gonna just, destroy you, and like you don't want to exercise because you'll sweat, or it'll make you tired, or you'll have a sore muscle, or we have this fear of not feeling good, so we don't do it. Mom here is the number one person that sits in that spot of avoiding discomfort.
Oh,
she doesn't want the gym.
No.
She doesn't want to do things like, let's see, what other, walk, be physical. I mean,
I don't want to sweat. This takes a lot to get ready. We don't want to sweat.
But I'm using that as an example because we avoid discomfort because we have a fear of not feeling good. Well, we're not designed to sit on the couch and sit in traffic all day. We're designed to move. If you can get up off the couch and walk to the fridge to get ice cream, you can exercise. You don't have to kill yourself in a workout. A simple walk around the block in a moment that maybe you just need some fresh air, and sometimes fresh air is like the best fix for things, and it just snaps you out of it, or it just gives you that one thing to make the better choice next time because it just got some stuff off your chest. So if you can get up and get off the couch and go to the kitchen and make yourself some hot pockets that are horrible, you have the ability to go for a walk around the block. You have the ability to do some workout videos on YouTube. You have the ability to go to a gym if you can do that. And it's an excuse if you don't want to do that. And you have to be okay with those excuses. I mean, hey, if you don't want to exercise, that's fine. But you have to accept the consequences of that, of not being self-disciplined. And a final point that I want to say to drive this home. Nobody builds a $1 million business that has employees and, this great business that's productive, that's income producing, that, pays for a bunch of workers, that kind of thing. Nobody builds that without a vision, without goals, without self-discipline. You can't be the owner of a company and show up 10% of the time. When you're the owner of the company, you have to show up 100% of the time, and you've got to make sure everything around you is working in place, and you have that self-discipline to show up and be there and be present. If you don't show up, that company crumbles. And that's kind of like the same thing that happens with your health. If you want to say, take a healthy person's body that's maybe on a cover magazine, mind you, that's been photoshopped, because nothing is ever that perfect, but just an average person that has a great physique, that's a poster child of health. They didn't get that body by just sitting around all day. Like, they're moving, they're self-disciplined, there's choices that they make, and it just doesn't get handed to you. There's work that comes with a nice body. And I'm not saying you have to be like, a supermodel. I'm saying just a healthy body. It takes work and it takes self-discipline, and that takes saying no sometimes to French fries or, donuts, something like that. It takes the ability to have the self-discipline to want more for yourself, to say no to those things and make a healthy choice. But being consistent with that, along with like the building a business type example and the having a great body or physique, being consistent with that also matters. You have to show up every day to your job, or you'll get fired. Or maybe you won't get a raise, whatever, if you get a really nice boss and they won't fire you, maybe you're not going to get a raise though. But you still have to show up if you want to see results. You still have to show up every day and feed yourself with the proper foods and nutrition to get the body that you desire, that will live a nice, long, and healthy life, and then make the most out of life. So being consistent every time you eat a meal, or every day, that momentum keeps growing on consistency. So if you're constantly making good choices, you're constantly on your way to those goals. And at the end of the day, a raise from your job, a bonus, a promotion, you know, that's like the work scenario, that's what you get. But when it comes to your body, you get health. You get to feel good. You get to wear normal size clothes in stores. You get to just be so enriched with life. But it's hard to break momentum once you get going. It's way harder to stop, fall on your face, get up, and start making good choices again. It's so much more harder to do that. It's harder to be consistent when you're on your freaking face all the time because you fell again. So that means you've got to show up and be consistent and build that momentum. And then it's rolling so hard and everything's going so good for you that it's hard to get that train off the track at that point, you know? So a lot of people ask, what's my secret? How do I do a 72-hour fast and have that self-discipline to get through it? Well, you know what? My choice is I'm not pouring from an empty cup anymore. I'm not losing another day or another minute of my life because I didn't care about myself. Self-discipline now includes me. And it's not just about brushing my teeth or showing up every day at my job. It's about including me into that puzzle because I can't have a job if I'm dead. I can't be a mom if I'm dead. I can't enjoy life if I'm dead. So being self-disciplined and making those choices, even in times where you don't want to, that is self-discipline. And I feel like that really is the underlying secret to why people fail and why people succeed. And having self-discipline and working on your self-discipline is something that will be priceless in your journey. And you also should honor the fact that your health is as important as brushing your teeth, as important as a job, as important, your health is so precious. We get one life to live in this body. How do you want to spend it? Do you want to continue the path that you're on that's probably a downward spiral that's leading to more health issues and misery? Or do you want to stop it in its tracks and have some self-discipline? Stop eating everything that's not good for you. We know this. There is as much, if not more, research now that shows a ketogenic diet, low carb even, or giving up gluten or inflammatory foods. There's so much research out there that shows that is how your body wants to be. It doesn't want to be inflamed all the time. We're not meant to be slouches. We are meant to be on the move, on the go, and full of life. So eating that way is not what we've been intended to be, So I know this kind of sounds kind of like all over the place, but it comes down to self-discipline. And I urge you to find your self-discipline in yourself and make your health something that you just do, that you don't have to think about. It's just, okay, here's a choice, here's dinner, this is what I should have. And there's no more thought process. It's not, oh, it's so hard, or I don't know what to eat, or no. You've got to learn it and you've got to make it so important to you. This way you get a raise in your day. It's just like if I showed up and was the best employee, I probably would get a raise or promotion. So give yourself a raise and eat better, be better every meal. And look at what you're gonna promote yourself to like rock star, all on your own. And that creates healthy habits. It's inspiring to others and it spreads. And that's something that is priceless. Be that person that makes the better choice for yourself and don't pour from an empty cup. So I hope this video made sense. It took, in my mind, when I think about self-discipline, that's what comes to me. So it might not make as much sense to you, but I hope it does. Let me know if it doesn't, if I need to redo this video. But your health comes down to self-discipline and making those choices when it's tough and fighting for it and not giving up and showing up every day. And that's the difference. And that's how I got to 97 pounds down at this point in my journeys, because I showed up every day. I didn't take no for an answer. When I did fall down, I got back up and I was back on the self-discipline bandwagon. So, go be great. I'm Jess and you're watching Keto Rewind.